Welcome to our hands-on exploration of PostgreSQL's visual installation process. Today we'll walk you through the EnterpriseDB installer, also known as the visual installer, which provides the most user-friendly and comprehensive way to get PostgreSQL running on both Windows and macOS systems. The first step is obtaining the installer from the official website. So let's navigate to the PostgreSQL download page. You can go to the home page and either click on the download button or the download option in the main menu. I'm going to show you in parallel the installations on both Windows and macOS because the process is the exact same. And because I have a different situation. In my own setup, my macOS will be brand new, while my Windows installation has a previous version. So you can see the difference between when you have it installed and you are going to update, or when you don't have anything and you install for the first time. This is the screen on macOS, so you can go here and click on the link. And doing the same on Windows, you can go to the download page and then hit the Windows button. As you can see, they are very similar intermediate pages. For /download/Windows, you can see all the supported platform versions. While on Mac, you can not only see the supported versions, but also some alternative installation methods. As macOS is a Unix system, there will be some more options for that. Even though they might be very specific to macOS, they are kind of similar to some Unix processes. So for example, the homebrew process we'll be using the next lesson when we install the source code version. Coming back to the top, we can click here on the download the installer. Same thing on Windows, you can click on the download the installer. And then you're going to land on the exact same page, no matter where you come from. This page is an EnterpriseDB.com page, which is the official page for the visual installation process. Here you can see many columns. If you click on any link on the Linux columns, you're going to be redirected back to the PostgreSQL.org site. But if you click on either macOS or Windows columns here, you're going to go to the next page where you can finally download the installer. I'm going to click here on Windows. Then I'm going to just select a folder where I can leave this executable file there. I have done this previously, so I don't need to wait for this anymore. Similarly on macOS, I can click on the first option, which is for me now displaying 17.6 because the 18 is still in beta. But feel free to install the 18 version if it's available when you are seeing this course. Or you can either install a previous version, which contains everything that we need for this course. I can click on the executable file and let it open. This is the installation file on Mac. Let me double click here. You're going to be asked for your admin password. In the meantime, let's go on the Windows as well. You can click here on the recent download history and jump on the download installation file straight away. There might be some intermediate screens where you're asked to install anyway because it's not a Microsoft application, so that's fine. You can click on install anyway and then just confirm and allow it to make changes on your system. That's the exact same initial screen on both Windows and macOS. As I said before, in macOS, I'll be running a brand new installation. So if I click on Next, the very first screen will ask me to define the installation folder, the installation directory. So I'm going to leave this as a default. So in my case, it's /library/PostgreSQL/17. Of course, this depends on your version. When I click on Next, I'm going to add these select components. The components need for this course is just a PostgreSQL server, which is the mandatory one. The pgadmin4 because I'm going to use pgadmin4 throughout the course, and the command line tools because we need some command line tools like PSQL. However, there is this stack builder that's not necessary for our course. It allows us to install extra things, but I'm going to leave this checked anyway so you can see exactly what it offers. When I hit next, I'll define the data directory. The data directory is also called the database cluster. This is the place where your physical database files will be stored. You can define this anywhere you have full access. However, I recommend you to leave it within the main installation folder, especially if it's the first time you install PostgreSQL. In production environments, it's common to have this database cluster folder in a different place, especially on Linux machines, where we already have as operating system philosophy a place for configuration files, another place for binary files, and a third place for data files. But here, let's leave the default for now. Remember this database cluster thing when we discuss table space in a coming lesson. So you hit next, and then you have to define the password for your super user. Your super user will be called Postgres. And the password is defined by what you put here. So feel free to choose an easy password while you're just learning in your local computer. But of course, in production, it has to be a strong password. The next page asks for the port. The port is a number that identifies the service that's running. So the default port for PostgreSQL is well known as 5432. So leave it the default one for now. The next screen asks for the locale. Locale is a way to configure things like text, dates, number ordering, and other things related to your particular region. If you click here, you can define any locale you want, which is basically in the format of the language underscore country dot your encoding format. So let's leave it as default for now, but we're going to discuss in future lessons. Now you are ready to go. This is the pre-installation summary. But before you go, let's take a look at the Windows version. On Windows, you're going to find the exact same initial screen. When you hit next, the screen here is just different because I already have something installed. So that's why it says, okay, I already have these here. And then what you're going to do is update those things. That's exactly what this next page is saying. This installation will be upgraded. Hitting next, it is saying that previously I installed these on C program files, PostgreSQL/17, and my directory folder was a data folder, and using the same port 5432. So the process was exactly the same as on macOS. And I'm here at the pre-installation summary, so I'm just gonna hit next, should be ready to go, and then just wait for it to install. Now the installation is done, the next page is asking me to run the stack builder. Feel free to uncheck, because we're not going to install anything from that. But let me show you exactly what it presents. I click on finish, type my password again, then this is the screen for the stack builder. First of all, it asks me which server I'm going to run. I have only one. I select and hit next, and then it downloads the application list. There's quite several different things, and you can see some add-ons like EDB language pack, PG agent, PG bouncer for connection pool, some database drivers for different clients like .NET, JDBC driver for Java, and so on, and special extensions like PostGIS. Of course, you don't want anything, so if you click next, it will ask me to select anything. But as I don't have anything to install, I can click cancel. And finally, exit wizard. There we go, you now have PostgreSQL fully installed on your machine. Let's go to the Windows version, and this time I'm going to uncheck the stack builder because you already see what it contains. Click on Windows and type pgadmin, so it shows pgadmin 4. When it loads pgadmin 4, you can click on servers, and finally you see all your servers running. Click on this Postgres database, as you won't have the list of other databases like I have here, and then you are ready to go. Just type a single command like select version and see what happens. There we go, we have something running here.